Welcome back to the episode of Learning Lead, episode 20. Responsive show is responsible. Again, it is L3IRD, the bird, getting some words again. Here on today's episode, we are talking about the one, the only gentleman, awesome, responsible, stuff like that. Cho'Gath. Again, if you guys don't know about Cho'Gath, you should start learning about him. He's a pretty big beast of a champion. I mean, he noms a lot of things, if you want to say that as well. But he does a lot of good work as a top laner. So really quickly, what is the usual way you build Cho'Gath? We were talking about Cho'Gath and all the roles and such like that. I usually play Cho'Gath as a top laner slash a middle if I need to, but usually just use the top lane kind of rune set as well. I play really weird runes and ability or masteries technically, but more over the runes. So technically, how I run Cho'Gath is with those 3% moves quint. So I have 2 quints in swiftness, 1 magic pen quint, but pretty much still the same with the mark insight reds, and then you have the yellow armor runes. Usually this is for me being matched up for any AP bruiser for me. This is the rune set I use for AP bruisers that go against 80 bruisers per se, or anything that is related to 80, just because it has armor. It doesn't have any magic resist, and then in general during the item build of probably I would say about 20 minutes or about 15 to 20 minutes in between that time, I usually get a Abyssal Scepter or something else magic resist wise to help me out during the game, just to build up more magic resist. And technically with more AP bruisers getting that 1.25 per level magic resist up, I mean magic resist is pretty important in your runes per se if you are going in general as a general big tank. But if you want to win that lane, have that little bit of extra AP just to be a little bit more safer. So yeah, that is what I usually do with the awesome Cho'Gath slash Singe. Sometimes with Diana, but mostly those two, even Malphite per se as well. And Masteries I use is the League of Inverted Composer. If you guys don't know who Inverted Composer is, he's a really, really good Singe player. Talked about a lot of things about Singe and stuff like that, but you can use a lot of his mastery set and actually a lot of top lane battles with who you actually have to have a lot of AP, but I digress. Okay. Well, actually, this is actually a little bit off. That's supposed to be down here over on Strength of Spirit, but pretty much I go 1, 10, 19 with that Strength of Spirit. What Strength of Spirit actually does is it increases your health regen for your mana pool. And in general, with Singe, with maybe Malphite per se, I wouldn't use this page for Malphite really, but with Singe and Cho'Gath, you do rush a Rod of Ages or you do rush a Frozen Heart, and it makes you super more stupidly tanky, especially with the high regen rates you really have with Carnivore on top of just Cho'Gath himself eating up everything with the Carnivore, and also with Singe with that Insanity Potion, and also in general his passive as well. I mean, that's why Inverted Composer kind of thought of it this way, of using that mana pool to more of your advantage per se, to get you more health, get you more stuff, and everything like that. Also, what it does is actually gives you more gold, and you know, with top lane, if you can't win one way, you have to win with the items, and you have to go another way. And you'll see that during this replay that I have of myself playing the top lane show. So in general, I'll start off in all of my games now. Start off with boots and 3 pots, but with the extra ability or gold ability in the awesome. Sorry about that. In the awesome startup of the rune page or of the masteries, I get that extra 20 gold to actually get 4 pots. So I start off with boots and 4 pots. A little cheat, but it's a good cheat per se. Again, with the Cho'Gath, you have that big level 1 advantage. So you want to get that rupture down as soon as possible, and you want to get the awesome damage down as soon as possible with him. So we're going to see a level 1 fight that's, I think, going to be good for me. I forget. Or actually, no, I don't forget. I know this one because this is actually a really, really fortuitous level 1 for me. We do have TF as well, so we do have that stun card coming into play, and we do get the first blood right over there. So in general, this team, pause it for a second. This team against Zyra, Bear, Jayce, Shaco, Taric, technically shouldn't go invade, because you do have Zyra with her E ability that does that stuns. You do have a root. You do have Taric with a stun. You do have just damage output of these three in general. Jayce, Misfortune, and Shaco can do a lot, but we go ahead and invade because again, solo queue is solo queue, and I heart solo queue. So yeah, we do invade. We kind of go backwards and stuff like that. And I'm going back because I got first blood. I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. I got my lane advantage already. And this guy right over here says, no, I want to do more. So Track goes in, gets that Undertow. Again, Undertow is a pretty good ability for invades, but not the best. I do go over here. I do flash over the wall to actually get that rupture up, and we do get another kill, and we do pick up another kill as well. So again, invades definitely something to worry about. Again, North America is kind of more known about it, but in general, League of Legends players have that mentality that if you do invade, you do get like such a big advantage, and yeah, you do see it. We do see it happen live and pretty soundly. It's pretty cute. The Shaco's still trying to get his own blue buff, even though there's 4 people of the team still right there. Puppy Wiener is in a really horrible position. We'll see what will happen pretty soon. We do see Track taken down and getting that blue buff, but in general, don't think that was the smartest idea. We do see Misfortune doing this chase down, and is it going to be Misfortune? Yeah, Misfortune will pick up the kill right there, but unfortunately will fall down to his counterpart, and that is not a good thing to give away as well. In general, for a level 1 invade, if you guys get invaded upon and you do lose one, that's fine. Just let them have that one and then try to recoup away from there. But if you give them more than one, you're going to have this, well, first you're going to have a really big deficit in some lanes, especially since the bottom lane 80 carry, Graves, he did get 2 kills and now it's up a BF or Doran's Blade. On top of that, having that awesome blue buff as well. And you do have top lane at 102 compared to what Jayce's is 0-0. Having the extra amplifying tone and having the extra damage on top of that, it's just going to deny Jayce more over top, which is actually a favorable matchup. Jayce versus Cho'Gath. It's definitely Jayce, because Jayce has poke a bit more than what Cho'Gath can re-sustain upon. So yeah, I'm saying if you try to recuperate from invade, don't try to just re-invade upon them, because technically you might just get killed upon yet again and just fall even further behind. So what is the usual way Cho'Gath is built? Part 2. We were talking about the starting items, boots, 4-pot, 3-pot. I usually build Cho'Gath with a little bit of surprise damage. So I usually build Kage's Lucky Pick to win out my lane super early. Kage's Lucky Pick, again, is a gold for 10 item that is kind of more used in that middle lane matchup, especially since the DFG is such a big item. Deathfire's Grasp, which is a health canceller, pretty much does damage to the amount of health the opponent has. But pretty much that Lucky's Kage's Pick, I use it for the gold advantage, because you already have greed already built upon yourself. You might as well build another Agility for 10 item just to get a little bit more ahead. And so having that extra amplifying tome in the early go, plus doing so much damage to Mr. Bear Tai right now, it's pretty OP, I would say. So yeah, I build up Amplifying Tone. Usually I should start off with Philosopher's Stone, but I think I'll go Amplifying Tone to Philosopher's Stone in this one. Build up to the needs or necessary things that are happening with the game. So this game, we do have pretty much 380 carries. Bear Tai with the Jayce. We have Shaco, who usually goes 80. You don't see an AP Shaco too much anymore, because those boxes nerfs kind of OP when you can't have many more boxes than 90 seconds. So yeah, you have that problem right there as well. And you also have Misfortune being a really great dominant early lane game carrier right there for that 80 bottom. So unfortunately for not 80, bot kind of gave up 2 kills and then kind of gave up a lot more resources down there. So just from the beginning go, Misfortune's already behind. So you probably see me build up that Kage's Lucky Pick right there, and you probably see me pick up a a part of the Philosopher's Stone on top of that get ward as well. It is super important to ward up in the game of League of Legends. This word not so much, but in general it is super important to ward up in League of Legends, especially at top lane actually. Junglers, usual path you'll see ganks or even the mid lanes, you'll see them come through Tribrush over here on top, or you'll see them come through River, pretty much through the B line right over here. My usual cheat ward that I usually use is right over here. I use this ward right here just because ever since the M5 kind of strategy of taking over blue buff really early and stuff like that, you see that technically this ward will protect a little bit of that space in the blue buff and give you that sight and vision of the pretty much the river. What I would like to do probably is get that sight and vision of Tribrush, but again, me playing pretty passively per se, because I like having the lane pushed to me, just because it's easier for me to rupture and carnivore up all over, just because Cho'Gath in general, you don't really need the CS if you are starting out with a really early goal for 10 item. So we do see Bird just trying to farm up as much as he can. That is kind of weird saying that right there. And we do see Bear just taking a little bit too much damage. He did take that extra shot at the tower, so I mean, you know, Shaka can't really just dive in there and get over there, especially since, you know, I have Carnivore on top of that. You can't really do too much to me over there. But in general, Yorick, Cho'Gath, Riven, people that push really hard, it's usually a general idea that you can just win out by just, you know, getting them right over here to gank because they push so hard. But if you kind of build yourself in a way that you don't have to push and you can just chill out as well, it's pretty much the best of both worlds, because they have to be pushed up super far and they are going to be super, you know, prone to ganks if anything as well. While you have the safety and compatibility, plus you have the gold advantage already, it's tenfold like win-win for you. You don't have to care about anything. And that's usually how I play my top lanes, or that's usually how I play AD carry as well. Like you want to just build up that early advantage and just keep that early advantage by even just pushing upon that kind of laurel of, oh hey, you have to push so much harder to actually get your CS, and I'll just make you get denied, or I'll make you pay for what CS you actually take. We do see some action over the middle, and we do see some action over the bottom. Don't remember too much of anything else, but I don't remember bottom doing too badly. Middle wasn't too great as well, but it doesn't matter. We do see Bird picking up the Philosopher's Stone, now going to be picking up Ninja Tapping, and then on top of that going to be working out for that lane. So in general, as top laner, you want to work for early lane dominance. Once you get that early lane dominance, you want to keep that early lane dominance. And me building up Ninja Tapping early will give you that extra move speed, which is actually super important for Cho'Gath to just go all around. That's also why you see me get that move speed Quint, because it's actually pretty OP having a top laner having move speed in general. Hit that lucky rupture over there, hit that feral stream as well. Just a lot of damage coming out from me right now. Right now I have 36 AP compared to what the magic resist, which is actually 30 magic resist for Beartie. So Beartie right now doesn't have any magic resist against me. It's taking so much poke from me, it's just really impossible for him to just keep it going. Beartie trying to get away, does get a juke off, now going to flash away, trying to use that acceleration gate, but he kind of casted that a little too far. And there you go with that. Now it's just snowballing for me, just a little bit too hard. So what is the optimal way to play Cho'Gath? Let's look really quickly. So yeah, we hit that rupture right over there, right? What you want to do as Cho'Gath, you want to make sure that they are 50% or below. I mean, that's in general. You want to get in that range where Feast can be used to be pretty much a kill item. Feast right now to an enemy champion does 328 true damage. So you want to hit that mark on their health bar that hits around 328. So right now he's at 340. I can probably do it just with one bite right now. So I hit one Vorpal Spike on top of that, hit him on top with the Feast. So you want to get that in. So you get to calculate that in your mind, in your perception of what you want to do during the game. But the second thing you want to do is actually get that rupture down. So again, with the rupture now being about 0.65 on the timer where it actually pops up, you want to engage that into a guesstimation of where he is, Beartai is going to be in that vicinity. Once you get that pop up, it's pretty much just game over for him. So we're going to go from there. Beartai going to go up. I guesstimate the pop-up going to be about right over here. So we do get him up, and Beartai right now is just automatically going to get killed because 243 health right now, that is just way too low for Mr. Beartai. So we do see Beartai going to go and get down, gets a feral screen on top of that, the feast going on top. It's just easy pickings. And that's pretty much what you want to do as Cho'Gath, especially in the lane phase for either top or middle. You just want to guesstimate and see where that rupture is going to hit and see where his health is at. If you can go in for the kill, just keep it going. If you can't, then just poke with him on feral screen on top of the rupture. But you want to lead out with rupture and then get the feral screen on top. So yeah, now 203, yeah, doing some pretty good stuff. How do you land rupture? So that is a really interesting question for any Cho'Gath player, / any player in general. How do you land a skill shot that is not more dependable, I would say, a lot more dependable. So how do you land that? You pretty much just have to just get used to it. You know the range of rupture, which is, oh, actually you can't see the range of rupture. Wow, that's pretty sad. But it's pretty much an encompassing area of about 200, 300 width, I would say. So you want to just aim it down and see and predict where Mr. Beartai or where your top laner is going to be. Sometimes you don't want to just do it like that, where you just want to just push up the wave. But in general, you just want to just get at a general area, and you'll get pretty much more oftentimes than not a generalness of where your player is supposed to be. And do you see a gank over at top? Buffing laner does come up and get that gold card and pretty much secure a kill. Just going to help feed up my teammates as well, which is, I mean, pretty important as top lane. I mean, if you can get an easy gank for your mid lane can go rotate around over bottom lane and then just keep on roaming it from there. So in general, if you can help get more gold for your team, especially since you're already 2-0-4, I mean, you don't really need much more help. You're already up on CS as well. Give them that extra free kill for your mid lane or your bot lane or your jungler. It's okay. That's pretty good. Although most people in solo queue would say, you know, it's my lane and I want my gold and such like that, but I DK. I really don't. I don't really care about the whole getting the aheadness because I'm already ahead. I don't need to be so much more ahead that I'm going to put everyone else behind. So I push the lane, push up as hard as I can, but we do see Mr. Jayce come back in. Jayce right now does have the Mercury Treads, so that's pretty good, but that's going to actually stop his build. Usually with Jayce you want to build up the, actually it won't stop up his build because technically he can go either Mercury Treads or he can go Ninja Tabi. He usually builds for lane for his boots, so that kind of works out. But in general, the double Doran's Blades is just a telling sign that, you know, Jayce is pretty behind. We can look at the totals right now and the gold. He's at 3,010 gold compared to Cho'Gath right now, who's at 4.5k gold. I mean, that is overall a beatdown for Jayce. And Jayce usually / will almost always beat a Cho'Gath over the top lane just because he does have that range poke with his shot cannon on top of that with the acceleration gate shot cannon combo, which does tons of damage actually. And you know, it's just really sad to see that, you know, this Jayce, you know, can't really do anything just because of that early invade, and on top of that the early deaths off on him. And do you see me Bird getting in some awesome feasts? Right now I'm at 4 feast stacks, so right now I have 360 health. We do see a gank over here. Do you miss up that rupture? Do you get the feral screen on top of that? Chinka taking so much damage. Do put a feast up on him. Make sure that he is out of there. I do get that rupture down on the Beartai, and we do see the backup of both players are at top lane. We're gonna go do the replay of that so we can kind of tell how to defend from a gank. Other than missing out that first rupture, that was big though. That was very big. So right here, I'm in a pretty bad position. I don't Yeah, I don't know that Shaco's right over there. I should have kind of just guessed it though, just because Jayce was kind of pushing a little bit, but again, in hindsight, 50-50. Okay, so right now I'm kind of cornered, technically. Shinka could probably just deceive over this part over here and then try to corner me with a box on top of that, but the box, I think he just laid that, no, he did not just lay that down, so he is ready to actually just box me down. Jayce is over here, could catch me down with the shock blast on top of the acceleration gate. Do a lot of bit of damage, and that's what you do see from here. Again, Cho'Gath right now at 1660 health right now with the 4 feet stacked. I mean, it's pretty big, pretty big. So Chinka comes in, does get that shiv down. Barrett comes in, does get that damage down. I'm pretty much unaware of the gank because I landed the rupture way behind where Bear Tie is. Probably should have just landed right here, and it would probably stop the gank happening at all. So Bear Tie just chasing me down. We do see the damage coming out from the devastating hammer. So right now, we do see two of these guys, damage me down so much. But really quickly to know, Bear Tie has 112 damage on his AD. Shaco has 112 damage on his AD. I have 120 on my armor right now. Hold on, let's see if you can actually see that. 120 armor, sorry, compared to the OP. Compared to the attack damage of both Shaco and Bear Tie, they're both doing pretty little to nil damage on me. So that's why you see me on top of me having the few stacks, taking barely any damage, which is really, really tough for them. So right now, the biggest thing I did was actually try to focus down on the biggest or the most easiest threat. Chinka again is a Shaco. Shacos usually don't have as much health as what a Jayce would have, especially with Jayce with the double Doran. So that's my focus. I focused that down, especially since Chinka did take a lot of damage from the minions. It really helped me out over there. So Chinka has to back away, and all I had to do was just land a rupture to make sure that Jayce didn't go ahead and kill me. And I barely get out of there with 40 health right there. That's pretty close. If I landed the first rupture, it would have been an easier getaway. And especially since rupture just brings out so much more utility and more consistency with the cast time, it really helps out most players for Cho'Gath right there. Used to times before in the olden days, Cho'Gath players would be like, oh my gosh, there's a trap, or oh my gosh, there's a gank happening right there. Try to land the rupture and then just like, GG, can't land it. I'm gonna die either way. And that's just because of the consistency and the timing of rupture. I mean, yeah, you could get it timed down, but then again, you could just get really trolled out and be like a 1 second timed rupture that lands super late and doesn't do anything for you. So yeah, there you go with that. Great job in general by Jayce actually, and also with Shaco. It's just I was just too tanky enough, and I just barely got off the right skills and abilities to make sure that Shaco couldn't get onto me. Usually in the game of League of Legends, you want to freeze a tower and stuff like that, and I've been talking about how AD carries freeze and keep denying XP / keep denying gold onto people. And solo queue, it works out the same way as well, but there's sometimes there's measures of moments where you have to see where your game is at, and you have to see what you have to do about your lane phase. Right now, I called on Olaf and also called on myself to actually push up in this top lane, just because right now, I mean, we do see the gold difference only being about 4k, but most of the gold differential is actually on the carries of Graves and me. And that is technically not what I want. I technically want TF or maybe Olaf to be a little bit more ahead, but Olaf barely ahead of Shaco. We see Zyra still pretty much ahead right now of the TF. And you want to just make sure that every lane is actually pushed. So you want to do that first of all as well, just because you want to deny gold, but you want to actually help out lanes as well. So as a top laner, or as in general as a gamer, you want to help everybody else on the team get to a better state of gaming. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be roaming around trying to get more ganks off per se, but also help out mid lane and even bottom lane get more kills. Unfortunately, we do see this TF kind of biting the dust per se, even though the vision was there for that Shaco for me right there too. It's okay, it happens. So we want to have the objective right now. We push down top, we want to push down middle and onto bot as well, but we also want to secure Dragon, which will be coming up in I think about a minute or so. And in this mid game status and in solo queue in general, this is actually the most important part of the game. If you can own the mid game, if you own the early game, you win about 90% of your matches. I mean, technically, if they do still play on the late game because they do have a late game come, it kind of hurts. But in general, that is pretty much what you want to aim for. Aim for that early game to dominate in there. Aim for that late mid game to dominate in there, so that your late game is pretty fail-proof or safe-proof. I do see the Shaco being picked off yet again. Right now, for myself, I am building a Frozen Heart. Again, we talked about having 380 carries, and denying the attack speed of an 80 carry is just super huge. Denying the ability of actually attacking just denies so much damage from the output of either Jayce or MF. You see a dive happening over here. Skillshots is going to be taken down, but we do see Huayshot taking so much damage. And actually, Huayshot going to be taken down first. Skillshots going to be taken down from the Soraka. Raka is going to try to flash away and get away from the Zyra. Zyra still on the chase, on the move. Does have a bit about damage, so that is going to be pretty tough. And we do see the Vine's going to get it out, and LOL Gamer going to be taken down as well. So importantly, only that important thing is that when you're a top laner, you actually have to keep over a top lane, right? So you actually still have to farm up as much as you can, minion wise and such like that. So you will have to go back to top at times. So usually it's a rotation. You want to go to middle, you want to go top, you want to go to bot, you want to go rush top. In general, and even in bot, or even as ADC, or even as mid, when you do that rotate, you have to plan ahead. Like, my wave, my middle wave right now is right at the middle. I cannot go ahead and roam just because I am not pushed up or I'm not ready to go. My top wave right now is about to the enemy tower. So I have this opportunity to actually roam all the way bot because I have this opportunity time that my damage on the top tower won't actually happen. You see Trat taking a lot of bit of damage, so I'm going to be coming in. Going to get the MF down. We do see Chinka pretty low. He did get that barrel scream. That barrel scream is pretty OP right now. You see Mr. Rob's taking a lot of bit of damage from the Soraka. Heal coming out, or Wish coming out from Soraka. Feast going down onto Tara. We do see still gets going to be taken down from a Rupture. Chinka going in. Going to get barrel screamed upon by Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath still trying to chase down onto CB Pickle. And Pickle just doing, well, he's there. He's there. And just take down Graves, or takes down Graves before taking down himself. So in general, triple kill just happened. I'll just show you the awesomeness afterwards, but hold on. Biggest important thing right there was that I didn't actually zone out the AP carry. If I zoned out the AP carry, it would have been actually probably a better fight, and no one would have died. If anything, Puffy Wiener and Soraka probably should have zoned out CP Pickle, but in general, as a big tank, as a big Cho'Gath, I'm going to be denying pretty much the other carries and also the support from actually doing anything. So you want to prohibit that zone. So the zone right now of the enemy team, it's pretty much Zyra facing 4v1 right now, and I don't know why she didn't die early, but it happened. Mr. Wops and Chinka China can't actually do anything, still gets super far away, can only use her bullet time to actually do anything. So we do see the damage cut develop. I tried to pull off a CP Pickle, probably a bad idea, but it did kind of work off, and we do see Mr. Robs coming in. He's probably going to be aiming and focusing upon Puffy Wiener or Huayshot. So my first priority target right now is actually onto Tarek, and then onto whatever on top of the carries. So as you see, bullet time comes down. That is a big thing. If I did have Rupture up, I probably would have timed it, but it is on a 1 second cooldown. Rupture would be the pretty much time target. Puffy Wiener, if he had the gold card, would have been easier and would have actually saved himself a lot of damage coming out onto that as well. You see the damage coming down still just takes too much chunks from the wall cards, and that is pretty much an easy kill from that Rupture. But unfortunately for now, he does take the kill into that Puffy Wiener just because he does, take too much damage from bullet time from the beginning. And in the end, I just tried to zone up, but Huayshot comes way too close and Olaf isn't really helping out right there. But it's okay because I missed that rupture pretty OP because I was expecting the flash. But there you go again. 3 for 1, 4 for 1 right there, or 4 for 2 right there. Triple kill for me, and yeah, just a lot of good stuff right there. So in general, main focus, main idea of that was you want to zone out as the AP tank, you want to zone out as a top laner in general, but you want to prioritize targets. And Misfortune, other than Olaf, or other than Tark, because Tark was just right in front, I couldn't really do too much about that. But Misfortune, Shaco were my primary targets. Zyra should have been my primary target, and that probably would have gone better if Zyra was my primary target. But in general, you want to focus on my targets, and I focused down on the right targets. I would think. When do you feast on minions, and when do you not feast on minions? In general, you just saw me over there. I feasted on, I think it was Tark, to get the kill onto Tark. Again, if you want to know, feast is a pretty short cooldown. It has a 39-second cooldown right now at level, or rank 2. And well, on top of that, I do have Frozen Heart. Let's see my actual CDR. I have 20% CDR, so I'm pretty much almost full. I'm halfway there. So with that extra CDR, I'm going to be pretty much just spamming out my abilities a little bit faster. 7 seconds on my Rupture, 10 seconds on my Feral Scream. So with my feast being at about a 40-second cooldown, sorry about that, you want to just kind of time it down that you want to get that feast ready up for a team fight, and especially because feast does so much damage. Again, it did about 300 damage in the beginning ago, does now 500 damage, just true damage, just to chunk down a person. So in general, you want to get it down when you have the opportune moment in a team fight. So in general, team fights, right? But during that lane phase, and you probably saw me just do it a few times, you want to do it when you're kind of pushed away to your tower, and you want to just like feast up on something, or if you have to go back, you want to feast up on one of these little minions as well to help out your jungler, if anything, not take any experience from there, but also just do a lot more damage per se. So yeah, in general, feast is a really important ability to kind of keep your mind into. Again, in the first rank it does about 60 seconds or so, so feast is pretty important. In the second, third ranks it goes down to about 40 or 30 seconds, and you just kind of almost spam the ability, which is a really big nuke spam. So yeah, in general, this is just a basic example of what Cho'Gath is in solo queue, but in general also as well as a Season 2 kind of contender champion in the later runs. And you'll probably see Cho'Gath being used, I would say, for TS. No, TSM hasn't ran a Cho'Gath in so long. The European teams don't really run Cho'Gath. They run Gangplank and you run Olaf. I wouldn't say the Korean teams run Cho'Gath as well, but Cho'Gath, if they are ran in Korean teams, they are ran Cho'Gath's middle. I would say probably, we'll probably see Dignitas maybe run it a few times. Crumbs does play a little bit of Cho'Gath. I do recall that a little bit. And we might see CLG run it as well, because Webber can run a Cho'Gath, or Jungle Cho is something Hacha GG kind of likes a lot. And in general, Cho'Gath with Hacha GG is like Nidalee of Hacha GG. You don't want that to happen because he's actually super good with it. But other than that, I would think maybe TPA and such like that, they know the abilities of Cho'Gath as well, and they will be definitely ones to really watch out for coming into the Season 2 championship. So yeah, we're going to be ending with this team fight over here. Don't think I do too much over here. I just kind of want to help out the team. At this point, you're already at what, 4-0, 5-0, 6. You don't really need more kills. You just want to help out the team. So you just want to zone and just give the kills as much as you can to the other teammates. Being a bro every day is the biggest thing about solo queue, or even in general in League of Legends. Helping out others to actually help yourself win the game, it's the most beautiful thing. So in general, being a responsive Cho, or responsible Cho, is a very responsible thing. So in general, you know, that's how you should play as a Cho'Gath. And in general, thank you again for watching. It has been the episode of the 20th of 20s the 2020s of the Learning League. Episode 20, Shifting Meta Part 3. Responsive show is responsible. Thank you again to everybody who has watched it. Again, don't you forget to subscribe up on the top left if you're watching the YouTube VOD. If you want to also as well, check out Definitive Esports, d-esports.com, for any other information coming up in the later run as we do go on about with the CSGO-ness, with the awesome Gimbal Arm show, stuff like that. Do check that out, d-esports.com, for any other updates and other shows of Definitive Esports. And also check out as well all the sponsors below. We do have XNG, we do have Treton, we do have Antec, BenQ, and Mad Cats. But overall, thanks again for this episode. It's a pretty interesting one. Again, when Riot makes changes, and they make changes for the better, sometimes they make it so good for champions and peoples and summoners that it kind of makes it so bad for them when they do have to go back, i.e. Urgot, i.e. Rumble. So, there you go with that. Otherwise, thank you again for the awesome show. We'll see you next week on Learning League.